Preparations for the country's participation at this year's Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games have begun with the successful hosting of the first of 4 Para-Powerlifting World Cup qualifying tournaments held in Abuja between the 4th to 7th of February 2020. As expected, the Unstoppables, as they are referred to, showed just how unstoppable they are, as they carted away 6 gold medals out of 10 in the junior category and 11 gold, 3 silver and 2 bronze medals in the senior category to emerge overall champions. It is the second time Nigeria is hosting the tournament, and this year's tournament was spearheaded and hosted by the First Lady of Nigeria, Aisha Buhari. Now, the wife of the president. Now, the World Para-Powerlifting announced in December that the 2020 World Cup calendar would span across 4 continents for the first time. Nigeria's Paralympic champions are confident the country will once again conquer the world, both at the World Cup tournament, qualifying tournament, and the Paralympics. With the Abuja 2020 World Cup now over, the Unstoppables will be looking to conquer the rest of the world in Manchester, Bogota and Dubai, which are the cities left to host the World Cup series. On Nigeria today, we shall be examining the level of preparedness by Team Nigeria thus far for Tokyo 2020 and more, as well as how they plan to exceed their previous records set at Rio 2016 Paralympic Games. Thanks for joining us. I am Anne Jibuno. With me in the studio to discuss Powerlifting Road to Tokyo 2020 is Queen Uboh Idris. She's the former president, Nigerian Powerlifting Federation. Good to have you join us.
Thank you very much.
And we also have Niyi Busari. He's a sports analyst. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
I'll start with you, Queen Uboh. Let's look at the fact that this is the second time Nigeria is hosting this Para-Powerlifting event. Why was Nigeria picked?
Actually, this is the first. The second one was a test run.
Okay.
You don't count a test run. That's just to help you know if the country is capable of hosting. Okay. This is actually the first in Nigeria and the first in West Africa.
Okay. Now, the association, the Para-Powerlifting, yes, in Nigeria, Para-Powerlifting, is it an association that tends to the needs of the athletes who compete, like in football, basketball? We know there are associations that tend to do that, to take care of retired and active participants, or rather athletes in these sports. Do we have such in Nigeria?
Not that I know of. I didn't mean that, and those were the words I was trying to put together. But anyway, when you talk about association, every para in every state is called Para-Powerlifting Association. But when it comes to federal, it comes to federation, because all those associations in every state comes together to make federation.
Okay, so.
But I presume what you're trying to ask if there is a package, any
body that is taking care of the needs of these athletes
and the coaches also?
Yes.
Not that I know, no.
Okay, so now we need to work on that, right?
Yes.
Okay. You retired recently, and we would like to know what led to that retirement.
Resignation.
First, I want to set a record straight.
Without pointing fingers.
First, I want to set a record first, because if we don't set the record first, is what you have to understand, remember, this is a World Cup, it's not a Nation Cup. So things goes on the air, it goes on the internet. And the international body and also other countries that came are looking at, we have to set record first, because the minister was misinformed regarding our table medal. If you were saying that Nigeria won 22 medals, that's means Nigeria should be in the 7th position. So we need to correct that already, because it's all over other countries, and other countries are telling us if you won 22 medals, and Egypt won 70 medals. You should be in the 7th position. So that trophy is not for you guys. That we need to set that record first to the nation, to the world. Nigeria did not come back with 22 medals. Nigeria came back with 72 medals. This is right, the medal chart from the international body. Right. If we keep claiming that we came with 22 medals, that's means we're in the 7th position. That meaning that those 3 trophies are not for us.
Okay, maybe, okay, that's interesting to know.
So we need to stress this.
So we actually did better than we are taking credit.
Because yes,
all right.
Because we won 72 medals. We went with 67 athletes. Team Nigeria went with 67 athletes, and they came back with 50 with 72 medals.
Okay, maybe you can keep that for the cameras.
Yeah.
Now you were also trying to tell us other things. Can you raise that for the cameras? Sure. Go ahead. You can still be talking while.
Okay. So if Nigeria went for the competition, the tournament with 86 athletes, Nigeria came back with 72 gold medals, which Egypt came with 70 gold medals. Medals, both gold, silver, and bronze. So the overall is 72 for Nigeria. That was why Nigeria, and when you go here, the international body still, this is for men.
Okay.
Nigeria still got 72 for men, and Egypt got 66 for men. Then when you go to the last page, that is for women. Nigeria came back with 72.
Okay, can you hold that for a little longer?
Yeah. So Nigeria came back with 72 for women and 68. And Egypt came back with 68. But the overall is Nigeria came back with 72, not 22. Please let them correct that in the media, because other countries are calling, asking for the trophy.
All right. Niyi, Niyi Busari, you are a sports analyst. What seems to be the issue? What's wrong? What's the challenge with the Paralympics in Nigeria? Why is it taking us so long to get things together?
Firstly, kudos must be given to her for her role in making sure that Nigeria hosts a successful one. She has been the person that made sure that fund was made available to make sure that Nigeria did. But there are some other things that did not go well. It happened from Lagos when the powerlifter were camped in Lagos. There were protests as regard some issue that has to do with the former president, talking about Queen Uboh. And when they came to Abuja, there are some issues as well.
I want to know why we are where we are.
Going by our performance. Thank God
because we do so well.
First. I think yes, doing so well has to do with the fact that the World Cup we had in Nigeria is tied to the Olympic qualification. None of the athletes would not like to be at the Olympics. That is the height of sport in the whole world. Based on that, I think that is one of, because the powerlifter, they are really suffering in this country. I think they are the most hit when we are talking about the athletes. The footballers, other able-bodied sport can be able to struggle one or two things together to make sure they put food on their table. But these people, they squarely depend on this sport to make ends meet. And one of the reasons that Mrs. Uboh was brought in was the fact that the sport lacked funding. And with her influence, she was brought in so that she can make funds available. Having done this successfully, yes, she did that quite well, but there are insinuations and allegations that the money were not paid into Federation's account. Instead, it was paid into a personal account. And this is Nigeria hosting a World Cup, not a personal. Yes, you might be the one that made everything possible, but at the same time, it has to be given back to us who want to come to For what you have done, had it been everything is put in perspective, is done the way it's supposed to be done, we will not be here today and be talking of some other thing. I believe Nigeria would have performed better than this. That is exactly where I'm going. We would have performed than winning 72 medal. That she said we have won. But had it been, we do that. Despite that, yes, glories will be, some things cannot be taken away from her for trying strive out of nothing to make sure money funding was brought to the table.
Can I respond to that?
Yes.
Thank you very much. When as of last year, August 2019, 2 months prior to August, the hosting right, which I keep saying over and over, I never bidded, I was given. And the international body has verified it, all the letters.
You were given, or Nigeria was given?
We were asked, are you interested to host? You have what it takes. Will you like to host?
Okay, you as an individual.
Yeah, if I will give you the letter to read from our international body. We'll get to that. Everything is here. When I talk, maybe because of where I stay, I speak with documents. If you don't have documents, don't.
No, I don't understand. Is it you were given right?
They will ask you if why Nigerian powerlifting has been the best for the past 10 years. Okay. Why didn't they give it to them since? Because they know that I have the ability, I have the capacity to host. That's why they offered.
Okay.
So if we use that word, Nigeria was given. Nigeria would have been given 10 years ago. We've been in the best. We didn't just start being the best. We've been the best for the past 10 years.
I think that should be corrected. Yeah. The federation is giving power
yes,
to
not Nigeria. Thank you.
It is the federation.
I need to be clear.
Yes.
It is not an individual
thing. Yes.
It is not an individual thing.
But the reason why I'm even digressing to that, because the ministry keeps saying is Queen Uboh's World Cup.
Sure.
When I came on board, and that letter was issued for 3 years to host 2020, 2021, and 2022 championship, which championship is greater than World Cup, for 3 years. I sent the letter to the ministry, because the normal thing to do when you have such letter, you send it to the presidency, but you have to send it to the presidency through the ministry. I sent it to the ministry. The same woman, Mrs. Tayo Reweme, was the one that told me that Nigeria does not have. Let me finish. When I talk, I like to.
She's not here.
Yes, I like to. No, she never. She have always said. She said it yesterday too. So I'm not saying then I will withhold. No. I live in a country that is freedom of speech. That's why I told, if they can't have me, don't have me. Mrs. Tawo Reweme told me this is not in the budget. Nigeria cannot host.
And you were given.
And I told her, ma'am, why don't you send this to presidency? I have made some contact with presidency. They said you need to officially write them. But he never, before the new minister now came on board. When they came on board, a month ago they are going to Morocco, I still went back. And I wrote, I said, ma'am, he said, please, you are getting ready for Morocco. We don't want to talk anything about para.
Anyway, so, let's cut the long story.
Can I please? Then you have to let me express myself.
No, I understand you.
Okay, it will
we've given you the credit.
No, I'm not. I don't like what I'm seeing online, because after I finish, before I leave here, I'll make a statement. Any other thing I slam Nigeria with lawsuits or anybody spoiling my name, because my kids are not happy with what is going on.
I understand. We give you the credit.
Yeah,
you did well for Nigeria.
What I'm trying to let you understand that it's talked about the funding.
Yes.
Because the ministry said Nigeria doesn't have budget for it, which by writing the ministry actually wrote international body to cancel the World Cup. International body wrote them back, telling them that they don't have the capacity to cancel it because it was given to the federation.
Okay, let's,
So when it entered that was when it got dawned on me that you only have to raise the fund or you forget about this.
Okay.
So let me go into, please, you let me add this, because this is a very big allegation concerning funding, and you have to let me, if that is the only thing I want to take care, I'm okay. I have to add that issue about funding. First of all, you are a sport analyst, and I know one way or the other, how did I come into sport? I was a marketer. I marketed the first youth game that was done in Ilori, I raised the fund for it.
Now, madam.
So when I entered, no, it is 90% impossible for anybody to give you cash. They give what they call CSR.
Okay, let's, you know what, madam, we will just,
Can I just...
we'll get back to you. You're watching Nigeria Today, and we're looking at the Paralympics. We'll take a short break now. The program continues shortly. Thanks for staying with us. It's still Nigeria Today, and we're discussing powerlifting road to Tokyo 2020. And our guests are still here, Queen Uboh Idris and Niyi Busari. Now, Niyi, let's talk about the challenges of powerlifting. I know Queen Uboh has done so much to help the country, get us to where we are with the help of friends, family, the First Lady, so many other people, So beyond that, what else, how else can we address these issues to make sure that we are prepared, our athletes are prepared for Tokyo 2020? These issues don't clog, us, the road to success.
Fortunately for Nigeria, our para lifter or para athletic has been the one that have been performing the most, even than the able-bodied. The record is there to say, but unfortunately for the athlete, they are the most hit. Talking about the poverty, they have not had enough of what's supposed to be given to them. Some of them that are winners of medals in the past, if you see them, one will definitely shelter. I think going forward, what will be done is the Ministry of Youth and Sport, the federal government through the Ministry of Youth and Sport, need to do like in football, we have what we call National Association of Nigerian Footballers. They are like a body who take care of the welfare when things are not going well. They come to the public to make sure the federation, that is NFF, do something for the player. Maybe their allowances and bonuses were not paid in time. I think something like that has to put in place for powerlifter, like a voice for the voiceless, a body that can come together, that can make sure that things are done as at when due. Some of them, before any championship or trial, they just go to stadium to practice, to do training without something to fall back on. Don't forget, some of them are breadwinner. They look onto them. They represent Nigeria at different championships. And for them to have perform better than the other counterpart in the other part of the world, there must be something that will take care of their welfare, that will do something for them to fall back on. This will build more of their confidence. They will help, it will help them in concentrating perfectly on exactly what they want to achieve. But unfortunately, they struggle to do this. It is the just die, that never say die attitude in them, as it is in every Nigeria, that makes sure to do wonders whenever they go outside of this country. Not that there is something, the welfare part of it is nothing to write to me, but I think it's something we need to look into. Can I ask you a question,
Mr. Niyi? When you talk about a body,
okay,
sorry, when you talk about the body that is there for NFF, are they just concerned about the allowance and bonuses they get?
Let me
monthly.
No. I'm talking about the general welfare.
The reason why I'm asking, as a former president of powerlifting, I know that the athletes has no monthly allowance. They only get something when they travel. So what my problem is, so you're telling me that it's only when these people travel once a year or twice a year, they will get
Some of
something.
some of them are being employed by states.
Only 5 of them.
Yes. Okay. So
And I know the 5.
Okay, now,
they are
Queen,
being
let's
employed
look
by
at,
the state.
let's look at, I know there's so many challenges. Many sports in Nigeria have lots of challenges, and these are teething problems. You know, with time, I'm sure, of course, with programs like this, I'm sure the enlightenment
That is
will be there.
why we...
Now, I want to ask you, what kind of training, what kind of facilities do you think we require to help reposition the sport? I know the funding,
sport or the athletes?
Or to help the athletes, sorry,
I think
perform
we should
better.
talk about the athlete first.
What do they need?
This World Cup that just ended, which the package is there, which we brought the package there for them to pick up. If you know, when we were doing our advert, we talk about every athlete trying to sell their shirt with their face. In every one they sell, they get 2,000 naira to their pocket, which Lottery Trust Fund has sponsored this.
What would you advise government? What would you advise? What do you
What
want?
I would advise government is, let me tell you something. When you tell government to give money every month, they will get tired of giving money. There's a saying that my mom always said before he died. He said, show me how to fish, do not give me fish.
So what do you want?
They should, this package that they have put together for them through Lottery Trust Fund, they should, and the government should mandate every state government, every state governor. Let's say, for example, taking Abdulaziz that comes from Nasarawa State, make the state governor to tell every Ministry of Youth and Sport alone in Nasarawa State to buy these shirts that they've made about 500 for Abdulaziz. And in every of that shirt sold, about 2,000 naira is given to, do the math, you will get about 2 to 3 million naira. Not just giving it to Abdulaziz and say, take, no. You will tell Abdulaziz, I'm giving you 2 to 3 months to come out with 3 different proposals that has to do with skills that this money can start up for you. You need to start up something for them to give them income every day, because each and every one of them are mothers and fathers. Not giving them, because when you start telling federal government will give them 20,000 every month, they will start putting it in the bill, they will pass bill 1. By the time you finish passing bill, some of them will die. Let's do something rapidly that will bring solution for these people. Thank God that Lottery Trust Funds have done these shirts for them. It's just for the federal government or or the Grand Patron, which I'm still talking to the Grand Patron, which the Grand Patron have assured that the Future Assure, his pet program, will oversee that money. Push the governors to tell them every Friday, Ministry of Youth and Sport should wear Abdulaziz as a uniform.
All right.
That will make them buy this, and they will get this money, start up something for them.
Okay. Now, Niyi, let's look at the awareness level. What kind of awareness? We don't really have awareness. We only hear about the medals.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Are Nigerians really aware of power?
The awareness was so poor. We understand that.
Came on board.
We understand that even during the World Cup, they are supposed to be made open to journalists. We understand that some were fenced and were not allowed into the venue of where the World Cup was held. And even before then, because when we are talking about the World Cup, it's supposed to be everywhere, every nook and cranny. It's supposed to be on the pages of newspaper, on radio, television, internet, and everywhere. But the awareness was so poor, and I think the federation should learn 1 or 2 lessons from there. However, what I discovered was that the president, talking about the former president, Uboh, was the one that caused majority of the challenges that led to the awareness not to be heard by people. Because what I understand is that the board was not carried along. And had it been the board was carried along, there must be some people that will handle that. The media department, who will liaise with the TV, online, newspaper, such that everybody will be aware and they will be present there. But having said that, that has gone. I believe the federation must have learned 1 or 2 things from there. And the way forward now, I think next time when we want to hold such thing, it must be they must be at the front.
All right, very briefly, sorry about that, but we're running out of time. Queen, he's said so many things, and you're no longer the president.
Yep.
So what, in less than 50 seconds, how do we work towards making Tokyo 2020 work?
I would say the money you want to use to take them to Dubai, that you want to take them to Manchester, use it to send them to early camping. They don't need to be in Dubai. They already qualified. This last one in Nigeria made them to qualify. Going there is just wasting resources and not putting the resources to the athletes. Send the athletes to early camping. This World Cup, they went to camping 10 days before World Cup. Send them to early camping for the next 4 months and use that money to fund them. And you see them coming out with instead of taking them to Dubai. What are they going to Dubai to do?
Are you still going to be part of Paralympics?
No, when I resigned, when I stepped down, I told them there, I said, yes, I've resigned as your president, but I'm still your voice.
All right. Thank you very much, Queen Uboh, Idris, for joining us today on the program. For former president of Paralympic Federation of Nigeria. And we also thank you, Niyi Busari, sports analyst, for joining us today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, this is where we call it today on Nigeria Today. We appreciate you for keeping this date with us, and do join us again tomorrow, next week, for another edition of the program.